It's 2 p.m. Central African time. A good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Market View this Monday as we kickstart the week. It is Market View indeed. The numbers will meet clarity and the numbers will speak louder than words. Today, the Kingdom of Eswatini finds itself at the crossroads of innovation and economic transformation. From a tap on your screen to the heart of government, the Government in Your Hand app is being hailed as a digital gateway to new efficiencies for Eswatini's businesses. We hear from top global development voices, the World Bank, the United Nations, as well as the UNDP, all chiming in on what this could mean for growth and governance. And then the young tech masterminds behind the app speak out, not just on code and functionality, but on opportunity, hope, and a future that is unlocked. And finally, the countdown to MTN Bushfire 2025. Yes, it is music, it is magic, and it is movement. But behind the lights and the stages lies a deeper economic crescendo. We unpack the numbers, the small businesses, and the big picture with Bushfire's own Piwoguhle Dlamini. All of that, plus your market analysis with Sanada Sbia right here on Market View. Let's get into it. On our first story, the Registrar of Companies, Msebe Malinga, revealed how businesses can maximize their power of the Government in Your Hand app. And he says by using this app, businesses can unlock new levels of efficiency and access through the Government in Your Hand app. Now, the World Bank, United Nations, and the United Nations Development Programme and business organizations have also shared their views that the app launched by the Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Savannah Mazia, last week is indeed a game changer.
The Government in Your Hand app has been seen as a major boost for economic growth.
It's an app that enables company registration and the payment for company registration services, wherein users can apply for a company name and they can reserve their company on that application and further register their companies on the same application. It talks to the ease of doing business and also simplifies process and procedure for starting your business in the country.
The business sector has commended government for bringing in the Eswatini Revenue Service tax PEL and the Government in Your Hand app, saying it is a game changer for local businesses.
It's an affirmation, first of all, that digital technology is the future. And number two, is going to help bridge the gap, between citizens and government.
This is a game changer for a country like Eswatini that needs to put its best foot forward in terms of attracting investments that we so badly need in order for us to provide for our young people.
Digital transformation is really an enabler for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, making sure that people across the country get access to the best services.
The Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Savannah Mazia, officially launched the Government in Your Hand app in a partnership with the Eswatini Revenue Service tax PEL platform.
For our entrepreneurs, they don't have the opportunity to leave their businesses. And now that the services are at their hands, they'll be able to do their taxation, file accordingly, and also for us it means that we need to now collaborate with ERS even more.
It's a brilliant initiative that's going to allow us to do things faster, to save a lot of cost and to access our markets easily.
It's a game changer. It says now we can have more information, we can have now more better access to services, and it gives us that lead in achieving more things with less time.
The two initiatives are designed to make access to government and tax services easier, faster, and more convenient for citizens and businesses alike. For Market View, Nelswendla Ngamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
In a groundbreaking move that is igniting youth innovation, a group of young tech visionaries behind the Government in Your Hand app have applauded the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology for affording them a life-changing opportunity.
The Government in Your Hand app, designed by local youth developers, aimed to bring government services closer to the people, quickly, efficiently, and at the tap of a finger. The youth have said they are truly grateful to the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology for bringing in their potential. They have further highlighted that they believe the project will open doors for them, expressing that this is the first step towards building solutions that drive economic growth.
Definitely, it's the trust that comes that was put Eswatini as developers, and we were not expecting that. We are grateful to the company RSTP for trusting us and everyone else, the government.
Uma ubuka nje lo msebenzi lomkhulu kangaka leseswendile utawukhula kangangoba nalabetako kusasa utawukhanza ukuthi nabo bayafaka sabo skill bayaqhubeka lala sigcine khona.
Kuyinfokoto lenkulu ukuthi eMaswati athole ama-service ahulumende esandleni sakhe through me as a young generation. Akusithi sonke lesiniketwa leli thuba but-ke kulabo labalifola kusho ukuthi kimi nje kuyi-projection to the youngsters who's out there. It's possible to do such things in a country and given a platform.
I appreciate it, not just me but as a team, and also nalobu from the different stakeholders. Let them give the youth a chance, because apparently as a youth we are willing to give it all the best.
With the launch of the Government in Your Hand app, these young entrepreneurs say when given a chance, the youth will not just participate in the economy, but they will transform it. From coding to creating, these young minds say the experience is more than just a tech milestone. It is a springboard for future endeavors. The Ministry of ICT continues to be a driving force behind entrepreneurs, equipping young people with the tools, skills, and platforms to turn ideas into impact. For Market View, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, and Derek Msibi, Ezulwini.
We go for a quick ad break and return shortly with our Enterprise Watch segment.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.za. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.za.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Welcome to Eswatini Lifestyle. This is your ultimate guide to the entertainment, to the lifestyle and the culture of Eswatini.
Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle.
Eswatini Lifestyle.
From 6:30 to 7 p.m. On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
It is important every now and then to check, am I still in the receiving hand of God? Or am I in the receiving hand of the lies from the enemy?
Salvation is free because Christ paid for everything, and that's true. But discipleship will cost you everything.
Love each other as if your life depends on it.
As a canvas reflects the nature of a personality or an artist, so creation teaches us about who God is.
We are made great by becoming small. We are exalted when we're humble.
Welcome back. This is Market Analysis, and the numbers are talking today. In fact, we do want to first and foremost extend the apology. We know that you're used to watching Market Analysis towards the end of our program, but we have it before Enterprise Watch today for reasons above us, but we still have the whole show for you. So we are getting into our Market Analysis segment now, and indeed, the numbers are extending its own conversations. What they are saying is volatility is back in the building. Wall Street is wobbling, so we do want to see what that looks like today. The Dow drops over 250 points, and the Nasdaq dives 1%. The S&P 500 isn't spared either over in Europe. It's a tale of contrast, and Germany's DAX rose ahead, up more than 1.6%, while London's FTSE 100 sputters slightly in Asia. The Nikkei rallies, but the Hang Seng takes a bruising hit. And back home, the Eswatini Stock Exchange slips by 1.49%. It is its sharpest drop this month. Gold is losing its shine, and oil is on a mild trip. Currencies, well, the Lilangeni holds, but only just. We don't know what that really means. So we are continuing to look at these numbers, and perhaps as we do that, we want to look at the Wall Street weakness. And as the figures or the numbers pop up on screen in Wall Street, we are looking at the U.S. numbers, and that is exactly what they are telling us. Let us look at the numbers. The big three indices in the U.S. are all down. We are seeing that there's some profit taking that is going on there, but also the market bracing for something deeper. And Sanele Sbia is with us now. And as he joins us, Sanele, it is indeed a good afternoon. We hope that you are ready to help us really understand what is happening. Let's start with the market in the New York Stock Exchange.
Thank you, Mr. Ngumalo. Good afternoon to the viewer. So when we are looking at Friday's numbers at close of the U.S. stock markets, you can see that it was relatively a bad day in the U.S. on Friday, purely because of the issue of those renewed tariff threats coming through from President Trump, and also the issue that there is still shifts towards that the budget, that bill, that expenditure bill, which is expected now to go through to Congress. It has actually passed, have to go through to Senate. It has actually passed the lower house. It has actually passed Congress, and that's what we're looking forward to as this week is going to be protracted. And as you know, that we are looking at Friday's numbers in the US. So we're waiting to see how the numbers are going to turn out as of tomorrow, when we now start the new trading week, and moving to that, we're thinking around those personal consumption data that that's going to come out this weekend. We're also looking at how NVIDIA is going to play out, which is actually one of those big tech stocks that we're looking out for. And given those news around TSMC and setting up plant within the US, Mr. Newman.
Go straight into Europe now. The DAX is surging while the FTSE flattens. What is happening here? Is this about macro strength in Germany or just investor sentiment? What is it?
Hello, Mr. Nguman.
Yes, I was asking if we're going to Europe, we are seeing that the DAX is surging and the FTSE is flattening. Is this about macro strength in Germany or just investor sentiment bouncing around sectors?
It's more investor sentiment, Mr. Ngumalo. It's more investor sentiment bouncing about sectors. And as we know, the German economy is looking for those new sources of growth. And, the news moving towards setting a new government and also looking at investor sentiment within Germany also picking up this time around. And the easing of those tariffs somehow signals that the German manufacturers are actually going to be better off going into the negotiation tables, and we are waiting to see if Germany in itself is actually going to have that type of deal together with the broader European Union, the European zone. But what is driving those numbers mostly, Mr. Ngumalo, is the strength that we're seeing coming out of the mainland in terms of those moves. Ensuring that the mainland markets are moving towards a bit of stability, staying at those all-time highs, and coming up with those relatively stable policies the Chinese government is actually pushing to ensure that the Chinese economy is protected from all of this. And we do know that those electronic vehicle sales figures that have come out do go to actually go make a case for the German economy and also for the overall Eurozone. But we are waiting to see how those negotiations are going to pan out within Europe and how the overall Eurozone is actually going to serve through these tumultuous Trump tariffs that President Trump brings to the fore.
Yeah, let's look at what is happening in Asia, a bit of divergence. What is fueling it? Is it China fatigue or just a Nikkei rebound? Repeat that. We are seeing a divergence in Asia. I wonder, what is fueling this divergence? Is it China's fatigue or just a Nikkei rebound?
It's a bit of both, Mr. Ngumalo. It's a bit of both. That rebound within the Nikkei, but when you're looking at it still, it's rebounding, just trying to echo those losses that we saw last week. Remember, last week we were trading at that 38,000 mark, but right now we're coming back down to that 371 type of mark, type of region. And also, when you now zero into Hong Kong and into Beijing, what we're seeing happening there, Mr. Ngumalo, is, markets are factoring in the holiday that's coming out tomorrow, that's coming in today in the US when they wake up, when markets open. So really, we're just going to have yet another blank day where we're not sure what's going to happen in terms of the policies coming out of the US and more especially the Trump administration, Mr. Ngumalo.
Eswatini's market deep. The all-share index is down nearly 1.5%. It's not a small dip for a stable market like ours. Is this sector specific or it's confidence that is waning more broadly?
It's a mix of issues, Mr. Ngumalo, but it's got to do with a bit of sector-specific movements that we are seeing, more especially within those, fund managers and, the overall broad onslaught that we are seeing in the global markets, where we're seeing that, if you're in the business of investing, it's becoming a relatively tumultuous type of situation. The uncertainty is also weighing in on the Eswatini Stock Exchange, but I think it should stable out. And, now that we've seen these movements, we should be moving more relatively towards a stable zone into the next couple of months.
And then the gold story, sleeping, often called a safe haven, but is it losing its trade steam? And what does oil at $64 say about global demand expectations?
So when we're looking at gold, Mr. Ngumalo, we've seen a bit of profit taking coming through from last week's trading session, but still it remains relatively high, showing that the market still factors in those uncertainties that are brought about by those tariffs and also the issue of the overall US debt market. So what we're seeing there is it's kind of coming down, but still at a relatively high level. Remember, before the announcement of that Moody's rating, gold was trading at $3,200 per per ounce, but right now it's back on the $3,300 per ounce, showing that markets are taking in that uncertainty and not just reevaluating their holding of the US debt. And you can see that with Brent crude oil, it still signals that we have those geopolitical tensions that are flying around in terms of that Iran crisis, also that Russia-Ukraine ceasefire that seems not to want to come to fruition. So that's why we're seeing Brent crude averaging around that $64 per barrel, showing that there are those signals that global demand is going to be subdued for this year. And then you couple that with the increases in output by OPEC countries. So we do expect the price of Brent crude to stay relatively at that level, Mr. Numalo.
Mr. Spear, thank you for your time. Unfortunately, we have to end it here. We have to dive straight into our Enterprise Watch segment right about now. Well, it's the countdown to one of the most anticipated festivals in Southern Africa, the MTN Bushfire 2025, lighting up the Kingdom of Eswatini from the 30th of May to the 1st of June. But beyond the music, the magic and the movement, there's another powerful story, the economic upliftment. Now, to unpack how this vibrant celebration fuels local business and the broader economy, Phiwa Kuhle Dlamini sat down with Nelsiwe Ndlangamandla. Well, Phiwa Kuhle is the communications manager for MTN Bushfire. Let's listen.
Phiwa, welcome to Market View. We came to Bushfire. Everyone knows it's the big weekend, this coming weekend. So we basically wanted to understand what you are doing. What is Bushfire doing to support the local businesses?
It all starts with the annual trader application process that happens the year before MTN Bushfire. As you know, it takes months to put together a world-class event of this profile. The trader application process basically invites local businesses to apply for the opportunity to trade across the different festival environments, be it the food space, the artisanal space, crafts, clothing. There's also edutainment/creative activities that cater to our audience, our young fire starters in the kids zone. And we have a range of lifestyle partners as well who help to enhance lifestyle traders rather, who help to enhance the festival experience. So with that, the trader process is a very thorough one. It helps us better sift and align with businesses that can help to enhance the services that we offer. But above that, it also speaks to our sustainability practices. We do look for traders who align with the festival's sustainability practices. As you know, we have this bold vision of becoming Africa's largest sustainable festival. And so it's important that our traders are also helping to complement that and helping us achieve that objective of ours. So, for example, we don't accept any other packaging apart from biodegradable packaging. That is the non-negotiable in the festival space. And so our traders also need to understand that, and it must be a practice that they apply in their daily operations, even outside of the festival space. So yeah, it is a very, very exciting, eclectic mix of traders that we have who all come together to share their expertise, their offerings, their creativity towards enhancing the festival offerings and ensuring that the trading experience at the festival is a memorable one. The trader workshop sessions offer an opportunity to then invite the selected traders for a day of just unpacking different or key festival preparations, such as security, access into the festival, packaging. As mentioned, we have a very strict policy on using biodegradable packaging. We also speak to how best they can enhance, and their brand or brand presence at the festival. We speak to safety, we speak to hygiene practices at the festival, and also just how best they can offer a memorable, sustainable experience, but also customer service is at the heart of what we do and offering festival goers from across the world a trading experience that we will thoroughly enjoy.
How many businesses are expected to showcase at Bushfire this year, and are you seeing an increase compared to the previous year?
This year, we're expecting 113 traders who will be coming to showcase their businesses at the festival. This is an increase, a very welcome and laudable increase from 109 traders that we had last year.
When you answered the first question, you said that the businesses that are going to showcase here are those that use environmentally friendly practices. That one is really applaudable because the world encourages that. But my next question is around the fees. How much are the businesses that are going to showcase here expected to pay for the different services, if I may say?
Our selected traders are then required to pay a stall fee. For our food traders, it's 3,500 emalangeni. For our traders in the craft environment, it ranges from 1,750 to 2,850, depending on the scale of their brands. And then in the kids zone, our traders pay a stall fee of 1,500 emalangeni. And then the service providers, it's 2,500. So also just to mention that we look for, in looking for the profile, just speaking to the profile of traders that we look for, it's established brands. So these are traders or businesses that know exactly what it takes to cater to our multicultural audience from across Africa and around the world. So they have established themselves as businesses. They know exactly, what the trading best practices are. They apply them in their businesses. And while there is an opportunity for growth, the growth definitely comes in them being here on the ground and interacting with their traders. And the stall fee is actually a very minute, I would say, contribution for the value that the traders get. It is actually unquantifiable, that value, beyond just our trader stats, which in 2024 were recorded at 9.35 million, which is generated in revenue by our food and craft traders at the festival. Very, very exciting. And this year we cannot wait to see how the numbers are going to shoot up, because already just from last year's figures, that was over 2 million emalangeni and 2 million emalangeni increase. So this is a very small portion of, the insurmountable, I would say, value that they gain from trading at the festival. And the profits that they make, it's the brand visibility that they're able to gain, the access to markets, to larger, wider markets that they're also able to gain and benefit from being at the festival. So and of course the sales, the numbers do the talking. So it's really exciting to see what they're able to come out with and how it speaks to the sustainability and visibility of their brands.
This is a big event, Piwo. It boosts tourism in the country, but I want to speak to issues of employment opportunities. We know that currently the country is battling unemployment. So how many people actually get jobs during this weekend?
So as we know, MTN Bushfire plays a significant role in stimulating the creative economy in Eswatini. And when we speak to the creative economy, we speak to not just the trading opportunities that we offer local businesses, but we also touch on our contribution towards stimulating, value and activity across different value chains in the economy. So we speak to transport, this speaks to tourism, this speaks to retail, and so many other industries and sectors who benefit significantly. We know our hotels accommodation is booked out completely during the festival period, but thankfully there's also camping and glamping on site, which has played a very big role in supplementing and enhancing the festival experience and accommodation options that our festival goers have. But back to the creative economy, we also speak to the jobs created by the festival. As it stands, the festival creates over 1,500 jobs, and this is just at the festival. This is not counting, the staff members who are employed on an annual basis by the festival. But it also speaks to, when we say over 1,500, it also speaks to the partners and sponsors who also create employment for the staff members who come to the festival and help represent them and enhance their visibility at the festival every year.
It's actually encouraging to see that so many Emaswati get employment opportunities during the festival, Piwo. So let's talk about issues of security. We know that some of the people who will be coming to the bushfire are from countries all over the world. What have you done to ensure that people are safe during this big festival?
MTN Bushfire has a very tangible and laudable record of being a safe, family-friendly event. Every year we have concerted efforts to engage and strengthen ties with our security personnel, security partners. This speaks to our law enforcement officials. It speaks to our security companies that we work with. It speaks to the medic partners that we have present at the festival who attend to any emergencies and ensure that while we are enjoying the full MTN Bushfire experience, we're doing so safely and that we are healthy, because well-being is a big part of enjoying, what we have to offer every year. So we just had a security meeting last week. There's one happening right now as we speak, and this is a year-long engagement that happens. It doesn't just happen closer to the festival period, and so that helps to ensure that all festival goers can come into this experience knowing that they are well taken care of and that they can go home. Of course, you will have the odd, people losing their belongings here and there. It happens in any event, and sometimes it's a fair mix of people getting too lost in the moment, in the fun of it all, and then losing their belongings. But thankfully, we have several information centers across the festival environments where we have our lost and found officials who are there to offer you. So if you lose anything, we always say the first point of contact is our info centers. Do make use of them as you come into the festival. Just know that if you've lost something, before you can panic, please make sure that you engage the festival staff to make sure that it might have been taken by them.
You have said that over 1,500 job opportunities will come with the festival. Over 100 businesses will be showcasing, and we know that visitors come from different parts of the world. This boosts the tourism sector, and this means that the economy of Eswatini will continue to grow. Thank you so much, people, for joining us on Market View today.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's see you again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central African Time. Bye-bye.
all the wars he inherited from the Barak